Hello everyone, this is Helios Raven. I tell you how to do it, even if you don't care. And sorry, but today's going to be very simple video this week. I'm working on going to an anime convention, so I got some other prep that I need to do. So I'm just going to be doing some quick simple videos for the next 2 weeks. Now this one here is what we're going to do is called What's on Deck and What's on Shelf. Going to tell you basically what projects I have sitting, waiting to get finished in the forefront, and then some of my future plans for later projects and such. The first, as you can see, is my Imperial Guard. Everything that you see here, this is all that's left that I need to build for my Imperial Guard army, and then it's done. It's at 1850 once it's all set. And what we've got here is we got what my girlfriend gave me for Christmas, which was the Basilisk and the Chimera. So we got those going. So I have one more Basilisk and one more Chimera to go. I then got a Leman Russ Demolisher kit, which I'm turning into the Executioner. And then this guy here. At my gaming store, there was a gentleman who played Space Wolves, and he had the twin-linked autocannon Leman Russ for his army, but since the Space Wolves no longer used it, he sold the item to me. So using bits from my extra kits and such, and buying some bits off of eBay and such, I'm basically going to refurbish this guy into a Punisher. That way I don't have to buy another bit set, which would be nice. And that's it for really all that's on deck right now. And after this, if anything, I got some small Eldar things that I need to do, but they're like side projects that I'm doing on top of my main projects. Like, this is basically the core of what I'm doing, and my side projects I may make some small YouTube videos on those when I'm working. And I might do a video on refurbishing this guy or something. I'm not sure. I'm still debating on that. But that's that for that stuff. And now we're going to move on to what's on the shelf. So first, there's my shelf with what I have next on my project list. And so let's bring this camera back here and take these guys off so I can show you a little bit more better what's on the shelf. And so my next plan for my next army is a Space Marine army. Might as well. So I've got a bunch of different stuff, but the particular chapter I'm going to be doing is the Dark Angels, because I love the Dark Angels. I think they're one of the best armies in the Space Marines. I like their fluff. I think they're the most interesting and unique force out there. And they're also the first Space Marine chapter I picked when I originally played 40k. That's a whole long story. So I decided to pick them back up again, but I'm not doing an actual Dark Angels army. I'm doing the Dark Angels Codex and all, but I'm making my own chapter, which I'll get into more when I start building the set when these guys are on deck. But for this, I got a the Dark Angels Veteran Space Marine box set. This was all bought with Christmas money that I got. Excuse me. I got a Space Marine Tactical Combat Squad, a set of Terminators, which I'm going to use to make Deathwing Terminators, got ourselves a Drop Pod, because it's going to be a very Drop Pod heavy army list, a Ravenwing box set. This is really tough to find. I actually managed to get the last one at the gaming store I went to pick that up, which was great. It was a nice find. And then I also got some other bits, but I want to do a little quick thing about these boxes here. Everyone's seen like the Dark Angel set and all that, and I kind of like it. I do hate the fact that you now have to buy, Thunderhammers and Lightning Claws separately. I think that's a little bit cheesy, but that's just me personally. But it is nice that they're all plastic now. What I do like also is how they give you so many upgrades in the Dark Angels thing. Like, I've got Dark Angel Terminator legs, There's some Terminator shield plates, so I've got a couple of extra things for and the storm shields. So I've got some extra bits to make more space Dark Angel-y Terminators. Like I got the autocannon, got the chapter banner, power mace, power sword. So I got all these extra little bits here to make a very unique looking to basically get some Deathwing theme into my Terminators without having to purchase the pewter ones that are on the website, because they're ridiculously overpriced for the Terminators. You know, like, I like the Dark Angels and I like the Dark Angel Space Marines and all that, but I don't like them enough to spend that all that money on the Terminators again. And then there's the Ravenwing Bike Squad. Now this is, from what I've been told, I could be wrong, but from what I hear, this is really hard to find in stores. You mostly have to go online for it now. But it's a really sick find. You get enough bits to make one land speeder for the Dark Angels, and then all these different sets for bikes. But what's the really unique part is the just truckload of bits they give you with this thing. First, they give you basically they give you all these upgrade sprues to make all of your bikes very Dark Angel-y. You know, winged bike covers. Let's see, Space Marine heads, satchels, like different Terminator plate, Dark Angel plates, and all these weird symbols and such. But also, they give you, you know, the Typhoon missiles, so you can make little terrain piece setups with them, and they give you enough bits here to actually make the Master of Ravenwing, which is really awesome, because or at least not when he's in his land speeder, which is great. So because instead of having to, I apologize, my battery just died. So instead of doing some crazy conversion and buying all these like bits elsewhere and such, they basically give you everything you need to make the Master of Ravenwing on a land speeder. So what I might actually do, so it's really awesome in that sheer fact, because now I don't have to worry about, if I ever want Samuel in my army in a land speeder, I don't need to go out and buy all these different box sets to make the thing. I could just go right from this Ravenwing set that I purchased. They also come with some Dreadnought shoulder pad, leg pads, and let's see, some books and Ravenwing symbols. A lot of nice little things to play with to really get some nice customized work done with the Ravenwing squadrons, and even with regular Dark Angels, there's some nice bits to work with that. So it is a fairly pricey item. This is like $90. This is like usually when you find it in the store, it's $90. Personally, well worth the cost, because you just get so much out of it, and it's just so much easier than trying to buy the entire thing. And it also gives you the bits for the attack bike. So you get 6 bikers, a land speeder, and an attack bike for $90, which I think personally is a very good deal. And also, now on that, what I also did, as I mentioned, I also made a Forge World purchase for my Dark Angels, and some other things, which we're going to go over right now. And so, here's a nice Forge World box. I love getting these things. It's just so exciting to see to see them come in. Now, first thing I picked up picked up Huron of the Huron, sorry, of the Astral Claws. I'm using him to make a Dark Angels Terminator Grandmaster that's going to basically be my Belial. And so I'm going to have some little conversions to go with there. I got a lot of it designed of what I'm going to do, but I haven't really figured out exactly how I'm going to execute some. Now, the reason why I picked him was because one of the things was I thought his Power Claw is ridiculously awesome. And as you can see, he's got a lion's head with wings on his shoulder pad. You know, that's so easily turned into a Dark Angels reference there. And same like on his Terminus Crux, or however, sorry, it's been forever. the Terminator symbol here, it's got wings along the back of it, so it's just like dripping with stuff you can easily turn into Dark Angels references in these guys. And I also picked up a Dark Angels Venerable Dreadnought, just so my Venerable Dreadnought looks a little bit different and stands out a little bit more. He is a little bit more pricey than the regular Dreadnought, but I think he's worth it just to have that at least one Dreadnought that sticks out and is more themed and is just drips with Dark Angelness. And these are Space Marines that I ordered for a friend. And here I also got the Dreadnought left close combat arm. So he's got his left arm set up so he can for fighting in close quarters combat. And plasma gun right arm. I love plasma guns, which is why I also like the Dark Angels, because they share my love of plasma for with me, so which is great. Another thing I purchased, this is for a minor project, is Thousand Suns Land Raider doors. These things just look awesome. And what it was is a friend donated a Chaos Land Raider to me because he no longer needed it. And so some of the doors and such got a little bit wrecked. And so I decided to purchase some Forge World doors, see if I can fix the mechanism that makes it open and close so I can get that working, because look at that. That is just awesome. I'd love to have people be able to see that. So we're going to see how that turns out. And it's just one little extra bit. It's really worth the extra price just to get to have a little bit more of a customized edge to the Land Raider, because it's just so hard to make them stand out with just the regular things, because you can only put so many different spikes and green stuff, so many different faces in the armor. But with these, that's what's one thing I like about Forge World is you can add these little touches. And speaking of little touches, I also bought the Dreadnought Drop Pod. Now, I know that it's really easy to just make the regular drop pod function as a Dreadnought drop pod and all that, but I really wanted him to have his own unique drop pod, and I figured it's a Forge World Dreadnought, I'll get him a Forge World drop pod. And it was a good, and also it was like sort of like a lucky break with this, because 2 days after I bought this, the price of the drop pod went up. Granted, it went up £1.50, but it's still, that's a significant increase when you do the conversion rate over. And like, doors are just huge on this thing. You can see, and up there he's got the little spines on him for the doors. And what's different about this guy than the regular drop pod is he's got only 3 doors on him, but he's large enough to fit the let's see, like if I really wanted to. So he's actually large enough where the base of the let's take that off. The Dreadnought base fits perfectly on there. Now I'll have to test to see if he'll fit on the stand with the thing, but I'm pretty sure, I know for sure that he sits no problem with just his feet by himself. There's the bottom chassis of it. Another door. Another door. And little detail sprue for the top of the thing. And let's see. Yeah, I believe it goes something like that. Sorry. But, so, looking really neat. I really can't wait to get started on this thing. And, of course, the very famous ambiguous instruction manuals. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Forge World models. I love buying from Forge World. But their instructions are practically useless. Granted, with the company that they are, since they are a sub-company, they're really big more into mass-producing models and shipping them out more, and then focusing on making instruction manuals for their guys. So, what they get like, they give you just enough where you can figure out what you need, but sometimes it just leaves you going, just tell me how to do it. But all in all, great work. Like said, in my next video, you're going to see an interesting thing with my next video with that. It's going to be dedicated to Forge World, actually. But that's what I got planned. That's what's on the shelf right now, so hopefully we'll get it done soon. The big issue that's holding me up right now is the snow. Right now, for those who don't know, I'm on Long Island, and we got a lot of snow over here. And so I just haven't had any place to go out and paint, spray paint. Like, I spray paint all my stuff black just to, because, it makes life easier, and when I really want to get lazy on certain things, like on my Imperial Guard and such, I just spray paint them black and I don't bother painting over them. But it just makes it, I like painting my... I spray paint my Imperial Guard black and then paint them black. But so I'm waiting for my deck to clear out of snow so I can go out and spray paint these guys. Excuse me. So once that happens, then, I'll be getting the ball rolling again. So I'll have one or two little small videos going up, but on my side projects probably, but so we're not going to see the Space Marine Army anytime soon. Probably, but earliest is going to be summer-ish time, around maybe June, July. But we'll see what happens. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, this is Helios Raven, signing off.